was on right now because anything you do.
I don't always like videos, but when I do, I always prefer Road Dog Crypto. Trade wisely, my friends.
Gary was a man who thought he could do crypto, sharing at the SEC.
You like what you see. Then please subscribe only. And if you like what I do, then smash that like button too.
Are you trying to find financial freedom by trading and investing in them there cryptocurrencies? But are you having a hard time being profitable and making them winning trades? Well, you can get all that knowledge and a whole lot more just by watching the Crypto Chart School playlist over here at the Road Dog Crypto channel. You just go right down here where it says Chart School, you click that full playlist, and voila! They got all the knowledge right there.
Check. 1 2 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the turkey.
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button.
Oh no, Elvis, you're in the wrong spot, buddy. Something's wrong right there. What happened there? We seem to have a few things messed up over here. Try that again, Elvis. Elvis?
For those of you out there that have been hitting that like button, I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the improv surprise stream. And basically what I'm doing is I'm still balancing out my portfolio here, trying to reorganize my new targets and new buys and new lows, and got some coins to be looking at today. And we'll also take a look at some that you guys might want to take a look at too. So how I like to do this is put a little marker so that when I come back to the chat, I know where to look underneath. So there's a marker in the chat, so just put your coin request there. Until then, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm still worse. I start out watching the tiny time frame. I make my plans on the big time frame. Let me say that. Here we are with our little woolly booger pattern. That's what I'm calling it. It's kind of a triple top. It reminds me of this. It's like, I don't know. You got, it's like, they call, some people, you hear people talking about head and shoulders, and it kind of looks like it's a big ass shoulder, a little head, and a big ass shoulder, and it's a variation of a triple top. Sometimes this is higher, sometimes this is kind of level out with this one, and I'm telling you, they're mean little woolly boogers. They're nasty. They're tricky. They nasty. And that's not the first time. You'll see, I'm putting eyeballs on them. We're going to start taking a look at these, and you'll start seeing that at most of the tops we got lately, we got some kind of structure like this. And technically, you got really something more like this, more like a symmetrical triangle in this case, right? And I'm not surprised with this. If you're looking at this as a symmetrical triangle, it's probably the most accurate way to look at it. But as far as a pattern, though, it does kind of do this. And when it breaks out and then comes back in, you know, my biggest complaint is that I hate symmetrical triangles because they do something called the rabbit run, which is like this. It'll go up and then it'll come down, and then, you know, it basically puts us in a range. It is how I interpret it. And the best way I've found to deal with those guys is just, you know, extend these little guys on out. Let them X out, if you will. And then we see that price usually respects that. So we may very well, if we just take that simple strategy, see price come on up here and maybe come on down. And we could be doing some other things. But this is my little woolly booger pattern, my little, I don't know. Technically, you look at that as a triple top. It's got a hellacious measure move, which could bring us back down to this 94,500 area. It's a one-to-one move from the peak to the bottom, lowest valley, and put the measure move there at the lowest valley. And I'm going to mark that, and we're going to call this the woolly booger measure move. Let's go over here to measure move, and I'm going to type woolly booger. Woolly booger measure move 94.5. Let's see how that plays out. Put it to the test. Try her out. But as a general rule, that should be fairly accurate if that's what's going to happen. Now, on the bigger picture things, aside from patterns and woolly boogers and symmetrical triangles and I don't know, and eyeballs, this yellow line is our 618. Great when we're above it. We're bullish. Oh, we're going to the moon. I'm flagging it out to the upside. We're going to Valhalla. And, you know, from flagging back here, there were some flags back there. You got to rise up. And it just kind of formed us into a bigger channel. That's usually what these guys do. And you can see we're respecting the hell out of that channel. Made a higher high and then no more. Yeah, I can look for bearish divergence, especially on bigger time frames. On the 6 minutes, I wouldn't count as much, but you would see a divergence between the peaks of there and your indicator RSI is usually the best one to use, in my personal opinion. We're finding some support here on the 800 moving average. Doesn't mean we're going to keep that little guy. Maybe we will. Our bigger moving averages are still in positive order, so maybe they'll make a W and come back up. That's one possibility. Get back above 96.5, or we can continue down because we haven't knocked out into this high. We knocked out this one, so we got hope. There's hope that we're trying to get an uptrend, but it's not confirmed yet. We came down here, did a nice little W pattern, came up, made a higher high from here, got a higher low. Technically, we want to try to get in there. We'll try to, if you want to take a little, you know, a little bit of a risky play. And you got a little something to look at there. You got a trend line, came back, retested it. It looks like it might be trying to do something more for the bigger moving averages than the smaller ones that we got right here. Let's make sure this microphone is on. Yeah, cool. Shout out to you guys hanging out. So I got Aaron T. I'll just throw a couple out there. ENJICP RVM. We'll take a look at it. Thank you for hanging out. And we got Sin. Thank you guys for being here. Oh, did I lose everybody all at once? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's YouTube. Maybe I just got too boring right there. Going over Bitcoin. There we go. We got at least one person, and that looks like that might be my tablet. All right. Well, we'll come back, even if we're talking to ourselves here. That's fine. So I see a possibility we can come up, maybe get above that, but I also see the possibility we could just be slowly rolling over. So getting rejected from here. So those are the things we need to be concerned about if we start coming down. Next area I'll be looking for will be this next trend line that we got. We can take fibs and get all those other areas, but shoot, we're talking trend lines right now. And it basically takes us back down to the bottom of our channel area right here, about 95, 150. And of course, we do have that little measure move a little bit lower. And there we go. All right, so I'm going to kind of book on over to a few altcoins, and if I see you guys come back into the chat, I'm not convinced that I've got anybody here just yet, so no need to look at coins that nobody else is going to look at. We're going to take a look at what some I got in my portfolio I need to straighten out. First one I want to take a look at is WLD, WorldCoin. I'm going to put you over here on CoinX because that's where I'm trading. So I want to use the same charts that I'm actually using as best as I can to be as accurate as I can. Look at that big dump that we got. We got to zoom out. I always zoom out, especially if I'm doing swing trade setups, which I am. These are for some longer term plays. And this little coin has been decimated. She's lower than what she's, well, right now she's at her, just testing her previous bottom low that she had back in September 2023 before she went up to, I know, almost $12 there. Pretty interesting, right? If we could do something like that again, I don't know if we can. I'm going to run out there and say my intake is on coins that we've already lost the big major move. That was the big swing, and now we got a secondary swing. So to me, this will always be, until it proves me different, it's going to be our new ceiling. So I'm looking at the coins that have done something like this a little sideways and not expecting them to perform as well as others. Any other coins that have not broken a main trend line like that, I'm starting to look at them as maybe for some more serious plays. But I'm starting to put these guys on the back burner just because it looks like, with the limited time that we have left in this market, they don't have it's not going to be as easy for them to come up and make a higher high, and we'd be saying I can go to $15. Can it? Because it may only get back up to about 8, 7.5, and that would be, we just put a time frame with where we are there. And so if she were to get back up to about $9, that could be toward the end of the year. I wouldn't expect this one to make a higher high just because of that simple reason. So I am taking that approach. That will be one of my biases. I said biases. Currently, the best little target that we can get would be looking at 328. We're going to take this little guy and put him in a little bit, scale him down here a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do it a couple of places. I'm going to get you here. And on these situations, I'll mainly 236 it out, because those are the key levels for each one of these that we need to go touch. And as I go about and do this, you'll kind of see that they kind of overlap and have confluence too, right? So all my 236s, except this one, doesn't line up perfectly, that 786, but you can see this 236 we just put there. The last one was the 382. And then we can get some intermediary guys over here. And considering what I'm doing with my strategy, I mean, there's probably enough profit between each one of those levels to make it worthwhile for me. So between level 1 and level 2, where we got 20%, I can work with 20%. Between this level and the 618, well, we got another about 20%. So that's pretty cool. So from down here at this bottom, and we could be making another double bottom. There's always that scenario. Or making a buck. There's a lot of scenarios. This technically under 148 is a good place to accumulate this, because when we do get to these areas up here, oh my gosh, you're at 240. I should have bought more when it was under $1.50, man. When it does 200% gains there and get $100 turns into $300. Wow, man, that's kind of cool. But this is going to be the biggest area right here, about 148, getting past there. Gotta do it. Then we'll look at the $2 area. So got me what I need to see, I believe, unless I wanted to narrow it down just a wee bit more. We can. And right now, we can do the same exact thing right here. Which one, women? Do you want to go with this one or this one? Let's go with this one. That's actually, it went up and then we came down. And we're kind of testing that area. Same area, 236 right there. So we're just going to and notice how the previous ones, they also line up really nice, right? Look at the so beautiful. Awesome. And so now I got me some take profit targets. I don't know if I'm going to take profit at that one unless I want to get in more. If I wanted to kind of see what's going on short term here on the daily, I am on the daily. We did have a breakout, and we may come back and retest that area, so that's on the table. So now that I've got my upward targets, I'm going to get my lower target just in case we do a little bit of a pullback, which we can. We definitely can. The deeper retracements, if we don't hold this area that we're at now. Hopefully we'll bounce off of this area right here, about 92 cents. That would be ideal. That would be ideal from where we are right now. And then we've got this little zone, the 618 to 786 area, which looks juicy. Now, see us popping out of this red cloud? There's a little sliver of green cloud over there. That's usually a good sign that we're trying to transition and change our trend. We did make a higher high. We're looking for a higher low. Where could that be? Well, that could be anywhere along this trend line, and it does look like this will be a nice little area there, about 84 cents. I like you. 85 technically by my technicalities, and then 93 is the area that we hope will hold. So I've got two little targets I can play with for maybe putting in a little order, and that's probably what I will be doing. Let's change the color on this little guy over to green, and we'll get out our old phone, zoom out a little bit here. Let's maybe go to the 4 hour, and we'll just see how she's reacting over here. Bigger moving averages. They're trying to do a ribbon flip on the 4 hour, and that's the first signs of a ribbon flip. See my big ugly moving averages that kind of clue us in on what's really going on as far as momentum, and it's starting to turn, starting to curve. The river is starting to bend, and then you see the current over here. The 5 moving averages, they've already flipped bullish. They're ready to rock and roll. Looks like we are getting a retest in that area. Maybe 93 will stick. I hope you do, but if not, 85 is on my target. Now I come to my little phone, and I'm going to go over here to WorldCoin, and I'm gonna set you up, baby. Set you up, cancel everything I've got going on right now because that's old news, and now we got some new news. Did I just erase my lines? Oh, well, that's okay, I guess. 85.6, 85.7, 85.7-ish, and what I got to work with here? Yeah. I feel so unsure as I log in tonight. Music available on Spotify, Tidal, Amazon Music, YouTube Music. There's a YouTube topic channel. You can go watch the video. All this music's available. Amazon Alexa. Alexa, play songs about Road Dogg Crypto. Variety. I've got albums upon albums of crypto music out there from various genres. All you got to do is just add to your playlist. Check it out over on Spotify. Help support the channel in a different kind of way. I'm not trying to shill and sell you some group to teach you some basic strategy you could have learned on your own somewhere else. All right, so get your orders in. I was trying to see if I could get a bigger order there. All right, so 95-ish right there. And now I'm gonna get my sell orders in so I can flip this little puppy. 242 looks like a stretch at the current moment, so I'm gonna go with 201. And 148. Doing about 25%, even 116 there. Why not? We were up there. Wait a minute, we're on the daily, right? So it's been a few days. Yeah, it's been a few weeks. So 116-ish. Alrighty, so we got you. Huh? All right, we got you, Degangaro, right there. Oh, we got 11 people now. We got some more people. Everybody's kind of skated out there for a few minutes, so I didn't know. People may be coming in and out. Let me say hello to everybody. I don't think I got everything up here. There was some more stuff above this. I don't know why this happens to me, but it does a lot. Boomer moments. We got Aaron T. Sin. Hey, there's Joe from Trade Intuition. How's it going, Joe? King Hell, how's it going? King Hell, are you in an awesome punk rock band? I gotta know. Aaron T, as far as memes, have you seen Dope and POTUS? Well, thank you, Aaron T. I do have a meme I need to check out right now. Libra Finance, please. Okay, I'll make a list of these. Let me make a list over here to the side. LBR, ENJ, ICP. Oh, yeah. I think, did I already do that one? A day or two ago? Let me go back over that, make sure I got that one set up. Basically what I'm doing, while I'm doing this, I'm setting up my own, I'm managing my own account, spot margin. So I'm looking for swing trade targets, as well as anything else I come across, because if I find me a juicy little trade that I can do long or short over this weekend with this low liquidity going on, I want to take advantage of that on purpose. All right, we did one of mine. Let's do one of your guys. And I don't know if Aaron T is still here. Are you still here, Aaron T? Let's take a look at ICP first. That was one of the first requests there. And I want to look at it at CoinX because that's where I'm playing. Yeah. Did I do this one? Let me go check out my ICP bags. I probably need to adjust that one. ICP, where are you? You shouldn't have to scroll this much to find your bags. I'm just saying that's a bad sign. Yep, still scrolling. Where'd you go, ICP? I went too far. Now, I should have a bigger bag than that. You shouldn't be this far down. Pardon me a minute. I gotta find my own bag. Where'd you go, ICP? How did you disappear like that? That's crazy. There you are. Found you. I think I already did this one. I mean, for what I'm doing. Let's see, what else can we do here? Probably need another target. Where are we at? Oh, man. Well, we've been down here for a while, though. Okay, so ICP, unfortunately, it also, when we zoom out, kind of lost a main level there that we were trading in. So I'm having to look at you sideways too, ICP. I'm doubting whether you can get a higher high. It's making me have to second guess you, as great as your technology is supposed to be and everything like that. Let's hope it doesn't do anything crazy like that. That goes to the negative. So we do have this is also going to be resistance and this will be resistance. So it kind of points that we may not get past $10 on this little guy. That's going to be an inflection point. I wanted to use that word, inflection point. That's going to be a place around 990 where we got to do a lot of decision making, in my personal opinion. So that's kind of a top point that I can see right now on this one until they kind of figure out, hey man, what's happening? So, wow, ICP. So I've got 679. I'm going to do a few other little tricks and then we can narrow it in. Something a little bit more short term. I'm going to do a lot of the same stuff that we did before. Make that a little bit smaller so I know. This is the most local pull that I've got on our fib, so that will be more tuned to it locally. And that's where this little line come from, that we are below again because we got rejected at a 382. Nailed it! And then, then we lost this guy again. That sucks. Are you going to give it back? Because you need to. Ichimoku Cloud looks undecided right now. She's kind of like, ah. So I'd like to see us get up into this cloud and have it spit us out on the other side. It's nicer, the closer we get to it, the better our chances are to be caught up in it. And Ichimoku Cloud's kind of an interesting indicator. I only use the cloud part. I don't use all the other stuff. And technically, I mean, if you're going to do the Ichimoku strategy, you would need to. I just use it to help me figure out, you know, it's a calming thing of mine. Kind of helps me see, reminds me what side of the trend I'm on. Reminds me, you know, if I'm close to it, then I can be a little bit more excited about an action happening. If I'm further away from it, I know, well, what I hope to happen may not be ready to happen just yet. I read it a little bit different than most other people do, but it does what I need it to do, and that's just. And sometimes it clues me into things. Basically, it's just a shadow. It's only a shadow of a price action. 26 candles ahead. It's not really anything too spectacular. There's some kind of little algorithm that helps you figure out how wide it is and all this. I'm no expert on that. But she's just there in the background just to give me, just to chime in every once in a while when I need it. And we're getting close to it, and we start getting into it. That's when it gets fun. So can we get a breakout? Now, if we look pattern-wise, just connecting our things, zooming out as much as we can, I mean, really, we could zoom out and even get a bigger pattern and whatnot, and we kind of did, but there are a little local pattern that we can play here. As long as we got 2 touches on one side, 3 on the other, we have a valid pattern, and that idea is valid. You can play it. I look for partial declines on these guys, and this looks like this is qualifying, and then we might be getting ready to break out. That's how I read this guy. This price action starting to squeeze within this. It's partial decline means she ain't coming down for the full touch, the full Monty to touch the bottom of the trend line. She says, we're putting the brakes on. That's a good sign of a turnaround there. So we look for it to break out. Basically, they'll take us back up to this area, or if we pull a fib, a 618 is a good target. We already got that right here. So this target right here, I know it sounds crazy, but it's kind of like your measured move. It's really close to your measured move. And depending on how you want to take it, if we take it from where we got a solid touch and come straight down and take that, put it at the breakout area, well, actually, you take us a little higher. You can be taking us up to our original 680. So I like that. Now we are flirting with losing this level, right? But we got some wicks going on. So is it faking us out? Is it going? What's it going to do? Hard to tell right now on such a big giant time frame. So let's come down and look at some noise and get the juicy gossip. And looks like she's trying. Our lines don't match up perfectly over here on this particular time frame. You can see we had to cut through some candles over here. That gets a little messy, but the bigger time frames I think lean out, so I have no problem keeping that angle there, but I do like to check some things out. Angles look good there. We can take it if their angles are good. Sometimes I do this little trick where I'll take it down to the little wicks, and it kind of helps me. Whoa, might be one of those little bounce places you didn't expect right there. Technically, it could come down a little bit lower there to about 450. Just a little trick that I do that helps out in a pinch, and a lot of times that keeps me from doing something stupid. So the main thing is, if you're looking at this horizontal, we don't want to break this 459 here. That would be a lower low from this leg here, and that would be bad news. So you can't put a little line there. I wouldn't doubt if there's something close fib-wise somewhere in this. According to Fibonacci, we're bouncing off or testing our greater. That's because it took 2 humps into account here. From this bottom to that high, 618. That's a good place to bounce, and that great place to have a little fake out, in my personal opinion. So fake outs, could we get a fake out? One thing that helps me determine fake outs is my moving averages. Crazy as it sounds. But when I look at these guys and I see the relationship to each other, we got a 100 crossing 200, that's bullish overall. Crazy how when that happens that sometimes you get the opposite result. And I mentioned that about 2 out of 3 times you'll see the opposite thing happen when these bigger moving averages cross. Kind of like if we turned it upside down and we saw it crossing bearishly and so it's decided to pop. You turn it back the way it was. That looks good, doesn't it? Like, oh my gosh, it's gonna go to the moon. Turn it back the right way. It's like, oh, we're going. Did you already touch that? Did you just now do that? Or no, you were already there. I'm sorry. Getting confused. So 4 hour time frame, and the 50 is still above the 200. Now she's starting to curve in, so there is that momentum that's dragging us down. There's a little bit of hope that it can pull us back up. I can't. It's not looking as strong just quite yet. Oh, here's better. For 1 hour, looks good. 200 above the 360. That's still flirting with some ideas, but I see some bullish crosses here on the bigger moving averages. That's what I'm trying to get across. If there's some bullish activity on the bigger moving averages, that gives me hope that this might be a little fake out there. Another thing we can do is look for some bullish divergence. There is some right here. So that's looking cool for ICP here on the 1 hour. You got the old buy dot here on, and you even got snake eyes over here. Look, snake eyes on the 1 hour. That's bullish divergence there. So it does look like at least come up to retest this area about 480, and then we'll see if we can break back into it. If we break back into it, that's a good sign. This was a bear trap fake out, and might get a nice big move starting to happen after that. Now, let's see, we're on the 1 hour. Let's go back to the 4 hour. I mean, it's not unheard of for that to happen on the weekend, especially remember this little trick that we went over. You know, we still got some wiggle room. So I wouldn't be surprised for something like that to happen at all. They faked you out. Didn't make the lower low. Went past the trend line, broke a level, went lower than this, and then you say, I got a sale, I'm going short, and then boom. Stuff like that happens a lot. So anyway, back to ICP. If I were going to buy, I would be looking at 445 because she breaks that area, and then 432, and hoping that we don't come down to 382 because that would suck. But you know, we got to put that one on the radar. She's down there. We got some lines down there. They're not down there willy-nilly. They're down there for a reason. So I will prepare my little setup. The way I trade on spot margin is different than the way I trade on futures, or it's closer to the way I trade on spot, but different from how I would approach futures totally. Why I got these guys? Why are you there? I didn't just put you there, duh. I don't think I need you. Oh, you're probably from... Did I just do that? I didn't just do that. Swing low to swing hard. Tell me when I need to buy. Blah 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 blah. I'll keep you. Okay. Yeah. That. I feel like I switched charts or something. That looks different to me. Maybe I got lazy. And okay, you are valid areas for that. I wasn't really looking for that. All right. So ICP. I'm going to go ahead and. Oh well, I don't have to worry about that, do I? I think I've already got you taken care of. I am waiting for, let me put a smaller target on here. I was looking for this little guy, and that's kind of a ways away for me. That would be 42% gain. And 620, huh? Yeah, I'm going to go with 622. That's still far away. Am I doing too far? Let me get me some shorter term targets here. Yeah, 554 from where we are, but I got to give me some enough that we can come back down and I can take advantage of it. I don't. My point is, if we're at bottom areas and I start taking profits too soon, if we just keep going up, then I can't buy anymore. It defeats my purpose for trying to get dry powder to buy cheaper. So for my strategies, I do have to go with a few little higher targets there. I'll put a few out there for some of those. I should be able to work a little bit with it. That's kind of up there. 591. Oh snap! That's quite a bit more than I expected to sell there. All right, and 554. That's on the 4 hour. We seem to be making higher highs and higher lows so far. If we do it again. So if I sell at 503 and then she comes back to 503, I'm kind of haven't really made any money there. So 554 I think is the lowest one I want to go with for right now. Still, and again. All right, so ICP, we got that one. I want to take a look at Ondo. Okay, let's take you off. That was from here to there. She's a 414 retracement coming back. Cool. Higher high, higher lows. Starting to look good on Ondo. So I don't need these lines anymore. They've done what we needed them to do. Take those guys off. That's what we were originally looking at here, and then it did this little guy, and I take that as a bullish sign. So when I'm drawing trend lines, I mean, probably one of the first things you'll do, you'll just take it to, you know, and it's understandable that that's legit now. We can do that and take that. But I like to follow what they initially did, and then I can see what we did from there. So we had a bear trap here. We were following the original. And as we're following the original, we see that happen, get back in the pattern. That's bullish AF to me. And sometimes you can see this that's extreme, but you can see that thing happen when you can catch these little bear traps. That was one of the coolest things that I think I took away from one of my mentors. I've only had one mentor. One of the coolest little tricks I took away from him, because I never would have looked at that before. Because the general consensus is, well, broke trend line, time to short. And that's what they do. They catch all the people shorting there, the ones playing by that rule, and trap them, and then they shoot off the other way. And so if we take that idea, we can even, you know, use that as our new bottom, which is what I would do normally. And if we do that, then look, we got another one. Is it going to do something? Is it going to do something like that? What kind of shape did it make over here? I mean, it's very similar to what we were doing over there, kind of a inverted head and shoulders type shape, or even if you were just following trend lines, you know, you got one of these guys with a retest, a breakout, and a retest. So however you want to look at it and play it, because those patterns kind of go together, inverted head and shoulder and falling wedges or falling channels. They go hand in hand, and they're like peas and carrots, for real, for real. You usually have a channel, and then there's some kind of bottom patterning happening in it or with it, or playing the inverted head and shoulders. I mean, you got a valid one right there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Even a more conservative line trade would be to take that and then break out, retest of it. Retest have value, don't always get them. But that keeps you from FOMOing in, baby. Look, it's a flag to the upside. That's cool and everything, but the way that I teach trend lines and everything, it's different. Some people are just only looking horizontal. Some people just looking levels, and I like trend lines to give me those little entries there. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a certain pattern, because I'm just... What I found, you know, I'm just looking, if I'm looking for a bullish breakout, I'm just looking for the top trend line. If I want to, I can figure out what kind of pattern we might have, and you can get off that. Oh, it's a falling wedge. Oh, no, it's a channel. No, it's a falling wedge. No, it's a channel. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I got a trend line. That's all it worries. We break it or we get rejected. I don't give a crap what we got underneath there. It could be saying, oh, no, it's one of them flat triangles. It's a descending triangle. I've seen it many times. Top trend, that's all I need. Top and bottom trend lines, basically. That goes back to OG. I didn't want to listen to them, and I seen them doing it. You don't know what you're doing. You're just on a trend line. You need to get the whole pattern. Oh yeah, I used to be that guy. They're like, oh my God, those guys knew what they were doing after all. Though trend lines can tell you a lot of information. Look, we lost this one, so boom. That sucks. That puts us in the possibility of a channel measure move to the downside. Don't like that idea. Where did that go? It's not what you want to hear, but it says, oh man, we might be coming back down to 74 cents on Ondo just by that concept alone. That would make a lower low. Does that make sense Fibonacci wise? Have we got anything saying, hey man, that could happen? 786 retracement? Yeah, we might be headed back down for Ondo. Keep that in mind. Where is that? 74, 75 cents. That would suck, Ondo. I'm gonna get ready for you though. Come here, Ondo. You got a short for Ondo? Do I need to be looking for a short? She's kind of at bottom right now too. I like to short, if I can catch a short, I like to try to get them from, you know, the pivot areas. Once they come down to support areas, that gets iffy. That's like, to me, that's like trying to buy the top. You're trying to sell the bottom. And sometimes it will keep going down, especially for bearish, but it's just a little bit more risky, and I've got caught in a lot of those that decided, oh no, I'm just going to go sideways or go up now. I'm cool. So the big front of the best part of it is if you can actually get them at the top, and it takes conviction, because they don't always want to immediately go down in a bull market. Now in a bear market, they're quick to move, but in a bull market, and they're hanging out up there, you're like, maybe it is a flag to the upside. They maybe break out a little bit and say, yeah, I told you it's a flag to the upside. Oh no, it's not. Nope. Oh crap. Oh man, I wish I went short up there. It can get kind of wild. I would say the best shorts I found lately is just finding when they pop off, baby. You're finding those little oddball coins that are popping off. And I've had some good luck with that. And then I've had some that decided, nope, I'm still going to go up. I think Cookie got me on that. I was trying to short it a couple of days ago. That didn't work out. So I'm trying to find my Ondo bag. Ondo, there you are, Ondo bag. And let me get my little trade set up over here real quick. 74.29, really? That's... I'll put me a nice little order there. I'll put me one in at 81 cents there. Front run that one just a wee bit. Just front run it a wee bit. Now I just need me some targets that I can probably reach over the next little bit with Ondo. Doesn't have to be extreme targets. We got Lucy. She's above 800. That's good, actually. Means we could come back up to these areas. I think I may just keep my... Should I do extensions or do it the proper way? I suppose we should do it proper. We'll come up here to this guy that high. Technically, you went down to there, but we'll take you here. Oh, nice 236 area. Beautiful. Okay, I feel good about this one now. Hex it up. All right, let's go. And so got me some target. Oh man, I haven't seen Ondo hit some of these targets in a minute, have we? So what's bullish about Ondo here on the 6 hour? I'm on the 6 hour. Not when sometimes I end up there. That probably confuses some people, and if you got any questions about it, I kind of group my time frames into big time frames, medium time frames, and small time frames. I don't care if I go to a 4 hour or 6 hour, you know, it's my medium time frame area. So I'm not, oh God, no, it's got to be a 4 hour, and just something there in the middle. That's how I approach time frames. Some people say, nope, it's got to be this one. Some people only play a time frame. Some people are sticklers, like, no, I only play the 4 hour. I make my setups here. I trade my setups here. And the weird thing about it is, you know, you get a signal. You might get a buy signal on a 4 hour time frame, but if you were to go down to like one of the smaller ones, like a 5 minute or 1 minute or something like that, you're buying the top. It's crazy. Yeah, that's how I use time frames. I make my plans on the bigger one, and then I go down to a smaller one to execute it. So I might get a buy signal here on the 4 hour. I go down to a 5 minute or 1 minute. And I say, no, that's not top. That's at the top. It's an area of resistance. And then it tells me, wait, get a better entry. So, and then use the smaller ones to wait till we get a setup. Get my entry. Then you got a really good entry on that 4 hour time frame. And then you play those targets. I don't know. I think a lot of people know that, but if you're new, it takes you a while to figure that out, or to hear that, or try that, or experiment with that. But that's what I do now, as opposed to what I used to do, is play a single time frame. But some people are adamant about it, so especially people in the, you know, trading stocks and commodities and things like that. Not everybody uses multiple time frames. That's a more advanced technique. So downward trend, definitely Ondo. So we already got our things in. I just need to put my sell orders in. So you're going to have trouble over here, Ondo. When we get a bottom in, then I will probably tweak some of these sell orders. But right now, I'm just going with what we got for the juicy ones. Haven't seen you at 104 in a long time, Ondo. Don't know if you're going to make it up there anytime real soon. But I'm putting you up there. So 25% there. I need a smaller target. And this is not the right ones for me to use for that. I'll have to wait. I got to be patient. I could go by these levels over here. Do I want to say at 96? Higher, high. If you're doing that, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to stick with my 104 and 115 for right now. May not get hit. That's okay. Let me come over to the chat and see what you guys are chatting about. Aaron still here. Cool. All right, so I see no new coins over there. We'll go take a look at one. Let's do LBR. Libra Finance. Mexi's gotcha. Ooh, that would have been a cool one to short. Those little spike ups. That's basically what I did for some of the shorts I caught on some coins I would not even look at or be trading. I saw this go up, and then I just the ones that worked out good for me, I used my fibs. The ones that did not work out good for me, I was like, I'll just do my phone. I'll guess at it. Those kind of bit me more. But the ones I used my fibs on, they played out great. You went way up there. There we go. You'd have to zoom out. Dude, they're at the original way. That was nice. 618 rejection right there. That could have been that would have been a helpful high to the very low. 618 is common rejection area. That's a nice little spike up from nothing to there. That was a good move out of Libra Finance. Oh my gosh, that was huge. That was a 6x. That was 600%. Dude, I hope you were in on that. That's pretty amazing. Then she gave it all back. Looks like she did about a 786 retracement right there. And now we got higher lows. That's cool. She went a little bit below that 786, almost to an 886, almost, but not quite, not quite. A little deep ass retracement. And now we're trying to figure out, well, what's she going to do now? Is she going to do something like this? Will she go back up? I think your best way is like what we were doing over here, zooming out. Swing high to swing low, tell me your price is going to go, and these are the hiccup areas. We saw this one already. We can put the bigger one. Why not? But the next one I'd be looking for is what, 7.2. Seriously, the strategy is this simple. It really is. Now imagine for a moment, I mean, without seeing this, and you just pulled your fibs from high to low. You didn't know that this was going to happen. You're like, oh my God, when's this thing ever going to do anything? And you just had sell targets here, limit orders. And not everybody does this. I'm sure everybody's got different ideas on trading. Some people are like, no, I'll just go all in, all out. I'm all in, all out. And then some people are trying to swing trade it. Some people are trying to maybe hodl, do hodl bags. I don't know. You got all kinds of things going on out there, different ways to approach this market. But I remember, before I was in a better place than I am now, back when, $5,000 was a lot of money to me and a lot to have in the market, working a job and this and that. This was the way that I could trade, was to set limit orders and wait for them to hit. And, it's a good thing if you're a working person and you're busy, got family life. Not everybody can sit here all day and stream and look at charts all day, and that can become a bad habit in itself right there. But imagine that if you just took that strategy. That sucks. She made a lower low, and we check and say, well, are we in bottom territory with this lower low? Yeah, she's not exactly following the rules as perfect as we would like, but she did get something there. Might be worth looking at something. See a reaction there, and she's starting to have a reaction. But she did establish that bottom for a while. So you had that, but I mean, just imagine what if you did? What if you just set those targets there? And of course, I mean, you get lucky, but I mean, how else are you going to play this, right? Unless you want to set alerts, watch, I don't know. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do. But imagine that first target, you got 251%. Second target, oh, I got paid again today. You know, and imagine if you pyramided this, and you might have your orders. Whoops, that's not much of a pyramid, is it? But you pyramid them down like this. This is what I do. This is my spot margin and even spot plays when I'm taking profits sometimes. If you don't know, and you know that we could be ranging, it could be ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. That there could be, you know, 3 waves, however many within this, or even all up to this area. And if you could do equal amounts of those, the smartest play would be to do your 4-3-2-1 strategy. That's a little sacred geometry there too. And so if you had $100, you could sell 40, 30, 20, 10, or if you had $1,000, 400, 300, 210, disperses your $1,000 of selling tokens, or tokens. Maybe it's tokens. You sell 40 tokens, 30 tokens, 20 tokens, 10 tokens, and as price goes up, the higher it goes, the more you get paid. Or you can just do it equally. But those are some cool little strategies. That's one of my very little special strategies there. That one gets into the mystical side. What the hell is he talking about? Because there's a buy side that does the flip flop, and when you put those together, you get a hexagram. Yeah, never mind. It gets out there. Oh, esoteric thoughts, but nothing magic, nothing. It's just a way, but it works though, right? So up here and then here. We were doing it from back here, right? So each one of those targets, man, wow. Next target, oh look, that's 500. That one gave me 6. That gave me a 6x at that target from where I got in. If you got in down at the bottom, on up to here, man. So every time, that whole move got you paid, and that's basically what your market makers are doing. It's the same concept that your market makers are doing. They're doing the same type of thing. As the numbers are popping up and short squeezes are happening, and they're helping to engineer that too, by the way. All this volume coming in, they're taking profits, and then down here they're accumulating again. They're going to do it again. So why don't we do something like that? So that's my take on Libra. So let me put these little targets. Is that easy? And it may take her a minute. May take her a long minute to do something like that again, but right now she's showing signs that, well, at least we got an upward trend, right? And as long as we hold that, we're doing pretty good, and sets us up for a higher high, which would be this 13.8 area. So that's my take. That's how I kind of look at these things and how I play these things. And sometimes, you know, it takes a while for this stuff to play out, but when it does, it's rewarding. Otherwise, we can just, you know, play every little individual flag to the upside, hoping that we can get that little 3 to 5%. And I'm like, I don't want 3 to 5%. I like the ones like this that can give me 200, 300, 400. It sounds crazy, but when you get down on these juicy bottoms that nobody wants to play with, nobody wants to talk to, everybody says this coin is over, it's dead. That's where when they say that you make your money in the bear market, this is why, because you're buying the bottoms nobody wants to talk to. And we're back at bear market prices for a lot of these altcoins. So there are some opportunities if you're willing to take the chances. So shout out to you. This is not one that I'm in, but you're in it, and oh man, you got the conviction for it, and you get the reward for it. And right now, she made it very clear that, hey, this bottom area we've been fighting with, screw you. I'm taking you back, bitch. She made a higher high right here than she did. That's a good sign. This trend is starting to change, and you're catching the bottom. So you're doing what's hard for a lot of people to do because they don't have the conviction. They're saying, nope, we're going to wait till it gets past this level. I'll buy it at 17, 18 cents. And that's cool. a lot of people will do that. That's a viable strategy. That's one of your traditional strategies, right? That's your conservative strategy. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it at all. I am a little bit more of a degen, so instead of horizontal areas, I am looking for these guys because they clue me in when something else is going to happen, and it did, right? I'm a little bit more risky. I like getting in these areas. I would rather take a chance on getting in at 5 cents. Because by the time it gets up to confirmation areas for a lot of other people, they'll start jumping in on it because they won't. They'll wait because they want, and it's smart. They want to make sure that you're actually in an upward trend. Nothing wrong with that. So, but there's people like us that are a little bit degenerate that try to capitalize on those little moves. So in between, you know, our $100 could turn into like 360, whereas they're going to wait, and you know, we get a higher high. And depending on how they play that, now some people will jump in right at the get-go from there, but you get a higher high. What comes after that? A higher low. Now, what if they jumped in here? What if they even nailed it perfect? What if they even had a limit order? You can set limit orders so like an alert. As soon as you get past a price, it'll automatically buy. Some exchanges allow you to do that. Let's just say you did that, but then she come down and she went up 16% or something. Woohoo! Our $100, we're at 125, but then it comes back, and then our $100 is only worth 60 now. So it's like buying the tops and buying the breakout. It's a breakout trade. And I was trained on that too, and I don't like it. That's why I'm a bottom feeder now. But legit. And then some people, you know, they'll take that into account. They know that can happen. And if I play that strategy, and sometimes I do if I have no other option, right? Price is already there. I can't wait for down here anymore. It might not come. You know, maybe go 25% in and then save your 75% for, you know, our lower low. And if you don't get a lower low, well, you know, hey man, you did it right. And it comes down and retests and starts bouncing higher high. And then you deploy, and then you've done it right. Then you bought the higher highs and higher lows. You're in the upward trend. Oh my God, are we going to do teaching or are we going to do charting? I forgot. I get stuck on this stuff sometimes. Anyway, for Libra, I like that. It looks like she's starting to make a little recovery, and if you're patient with it. If this is a longer term play, where we were back in December, that was too many years ago. That one might be hard to go up to again. So you got to kind of see what she's done in the past year, in my personal opinion, and that would be back here February last year. Ooh, she's got a lot of come up in us to do, and I think we already got that main target there that she's got rejected at. So the next one up I would be looking for, so this would be kind of like our moon target right now, would be about 26 cents. That should be doable. So let's imagine if you got your bags down here where you had them before, and you get up there, that's 1100% gains. So it'd be worth holding a moon bag of this as nothing else, taking your collateral out and just letting that puppy ride, and see $100 turn into 1,000 is pretty exciting. I don't care who you are. So I do like that idea. So that's what I got from Libra Finance. Now it's my turn. We're going to do one that I want. I'm going to take Tia. Tia. What are you doing, Tia? Look, you were going parabolic. You were doing a parabolic thing, and then you drew it, and then you cursed it, Road Dog, because every time you do that, you curse the coins. And then she gave it up, didn't she? We were following it. She didn't want to ride. That was nice. So she's still keeping with this guy, hasn't broken out of that, and this just keeps getting bigger. And now we got more of a partial decline. Came down, actually, got candlesticked and retesting that area. Will it hold? Just taking into account some new information here. We'll just redraw you all together. So we got to redo our targets. If we came back down for a little bit of a lower low, it sucks when it happens, but sometimes everything doesn't play out perfectly as we hope. So Tia, that was looking nice. Breakout to the upside. Let's take the moon from here, Helen. It wasn't though, was it? 618 got us again. What we say on the channel, 618, a lot of people look to go short there. That's why it is a common target for us to take profits, because you don't know, just like Bitcoin right now. Just like Bitcoin right now, we got above it, now we're below it. What happened when we can't get past it? We're still technically on the bearish side, so we can come down. We can come down. And hopefully you're looking for a higher low. That's what we hope for when we do that. It's the first thing I look for. You know, I would be doing this little guy right here. I'd be doing the same thing that I do every time. Trying to figure out where we can come down to, and I'd be looking, will we bounce here? Will we bounce there? And she came down to areas that I would say, hey man, we got something. I would be looking here. Then we lost it. And that's when the voices would say, you suck, Road Dog, you suck. And, you know, I wish I could say, give you a great explanation that would say, oh no, we're definitely going to lose it. I mean, there's some other things we could look at, not getting above our 618s and measure it and everything, but it's one that could catch you by surprise. Trend line might be helpful, but that was actually nice. You retested that. That was really cool. I mean, not cool for it happening. Tia, in other words, what the hell are you doing, Tia? You're taking a deep ass retracement. Let's stop talking. Let's figure out what you're doing. This one got up to $20. There's so much hype behind this one. Modular blockchain, promises of airdrops. There was a huge airdrop, and I missed it because I didn't go claim it, and they clawed it back, so I missed it. We got a full on. She's where she was when she first started, or when she was first listed over here on Binance. She is where she was. So that's what we hope for, that this area freaking sticks, because below it, our next target is beyond zero. We don't want to go beyond zero. That's for losers. All right, so I'm going to do a little fib tricks and just kind of check our bottom temperature here. I'm going to stick that thermometer in there deep. I like it. I mean, not like it deep. I just like that we're at the bottom. That's what I meant to say there. That's how that was supposed to come out. We got a 272 retracement. That's good enough for me to go from high to low and say, baby, I'm just going to call you bottom right now, and we'll play it from there. Call me a degen. I don't care. That's a degen move. Yep. They can get us that degen money too. Oh, you mean where you lose it? Well, sometimes. Now this looks like a pretty good place, Tia. That looks like a pretty good place, Tia. And so I'm setting up, I want to get me some juicy targets. I can get paid here. I'm just going to go every one of them. I'm just throw it out there the way it is. For what I'm doing, I need constant circulation of money to help pay down fees, pay down loan fees, because I borrow money to do this on spot margin. It's kind of like futures, but it's not. It's spot. You get to keep the coins that you have, but you borrow money against your collateral up to so much, and I think it just lets you have a little bit more finesse on your leverage. So looky here, we've got one of them wedgies. Those little wedgies will make it. Oh, it's a shallow one. That's cool. So my main target I'm looking at here is if you're at 3. Oh, that's high for you. 380. I'm on the 12-hour time frame. I'm on a bigger time frame here. We were still bearish with our bigger indicators there. She's got some work to do. Tia, you're just not being that fun. I'm just going with these two targets right now. I'd love to see you get up there at 380. Supposedly, I guess if I wanted to get, is it going to be worth me getting paid? Is it worth it? That's what you got to ask. Just because you got targets doesn't mean you need to take them. Is it going to be worth it? Is it worth it, darling? If I'm buying here and selling there, is it worth it? How many percent? Oh, 25, 30, 40. Yeah, okay. All right, well, I'll throw you in on here too then. When was this? This was March. Oh my gosh, we're already in May. That's crazy. Jeez. Summer is already here, and I'll live my life in the Bitcoin charts, it seems. What are we looking like from here to there to Netherlands and from where you were before? I'll probably utilize some of these smaller ones since Tia's being not being the fun one to be in on right now. Doesn't do me any good to have the short money out there, does it? Okay, so we repay our shorts. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, we got plenty of room to work here just with what we got here, it looks like. All right, Tia, I'll play ball with you. Oh yeah. So I'm just going to take from high to low. I'm just going to take every one of these little targets. Let's see, 12% between one. I've got basically about 2 to 3x leverage on that, so doubles those moves for me. Alrighty, let me get you set up here. Going all the way up here to 480. $3.99. Woohoo! Can you get that to you? This is how I do. This is my set and forget. Because I can go through, I can do these, and I just wait to get paid, and I don't have to go through and manage and worry and guess, second guess anything, because I'm that confident in my fib strategy that, well, I mean, these levels are going to get hit to an extent, and once we get our little, whatever our next local top is, there will be another local bottom, and then what is the spread between that? From this one, 38, 40%? You know, you get $100 over here, and then you buy $100 worth over here, and you buy a lot more. It goes back up, you sell your $100, you get $144. Kind of see how that works? And now you got $144. I mean, hypothetically. It comes down. But you sold it, so your price didn't come down. It came down another 43%. So you're $144 worth of TIA, and then if you sell at your other levels, and you know, and now it's you're building the bag. You're building the bag on these moves if you can do it. As close as you can to those principles, and using the fibs helps me to get that. 332. I'm gonna need an order there. And then 380, 304. Ooh, I'm starting to get slim on my TIA here. 304, that was your last high. So you don't need to go any different there. Figure out some buy areas here, and I'm going to go 223 and 232. 223. And not sure I got very much to buy with over here. All right, Tia. And let's take a look at, we did ICP, we didn't do ENJ. That was a request. Pulling at the Binance chart over here. Oh, you down too, ain't you? Snap! Were you trying to do a roundy and you didn't round it? I cursed it. She had so much potential, but no. I wasn't doing what I'm looking for. She didn't. You suck, road dog. She coming down for full Monty. Well, let's clear you out. She made a higher high. I'd be looking for the next higher low. And she came back to bottom. I would have probably still been bullish on that. We lost that, and then, oh, look, they did a retest of that area too. So this one did fool me, and if I were trading it, and I wasn't actively trading it at the time, but it would have got me. Unless I was actually following it, yeah. That sucks. Well, if we were right all the time, we would be multi-millionaires, I guess, without a trading group. Wait, say we got a channel idea. So I guess we can just hope for the bottom. Oh, that was December 24th? Oh man, when was this? Oh my goodness, this was back in 2023 when we were looking at this. Wow, well, you were a disappointment. That was March. That was the peak last year. Oh, that makes sense now. So I've not looked at this chart in a long time. A long time. Wow, now this is a gaming coin, and she's obviously hurting. All right, let's check your bottom out here. We'll assume that we got a bottom. I don't know. She could possibly still go a wee bit lower. Let's see how things are lined. They line up pretty decent. They could line up a little better. I'm just saying. And meaning, if that's so, if I had to do a predictive thing, this is a little, just one of those little tricks that we use to play with. Nothing, I would bet the farm on, but lining my fibs up to how these areas match up. Might suggest that 0.00375 area could be a lower low there. I'm gonna put a weird little speculative play over here that might be something. Now we'll follow the rules and go by the actual rules, and it's telling us that 1386. That's the next major area to contend with, and we've not been there since January, so that should make a pretty good target, a pretty good come up. From where we are now, if we bounce off that 21 moving average and can get up there, that's 70% gains. The next target up from that would be, according to our fibs, this little area here where we wick down to. Maybe this will stick. That looks like good confluence. I'm hoping she doesn't go any lower. I'm hoping that's the bottom, but right now we'll take that as our bonus target, that 382. She's going to have to fight with those two areas. That's a 18. She does look like she's trying to head down right now, but let's just pretend she's holding that. If we got up there 75%, 140% to those two targets. So on the daily, and I like to look at the daily as we try to figure it, she made a higher high. We're hoping for a higher low. We're hoping that 21 moving average helps. Ichimoku Cloud looks a little promising. Got some stuff going over here, but she's still undecided. Come down to the smaller time frame and see what you're saying. On the 4 hour, it is the 200 moving average. Okay, so here is the bullish scenario. 100 crossing the 200. What happened after that? It dumped, touching the 200. This is starting to look, and the moving average, they're starting to flip a little bit. They're starting to cross bullishly. So the smaller ones are starting to cross over the bigger ones. And the more that happens, they start flipping, and then we're changing trend. So first signs of trend changes are happening over here. So we see the 200 moving average. Let's do our Fibonacci. Let's just put this little guy down here where we did our bottom area and this little area there. All that coming back into place probably will be retested. So I wouldn't doubt if we can come back and we could possibly come down here too. Let's throw that one on there, because let's be thorough. That 886 could come into the picture, but let's focus on, see if she might actually come down and tap that 718, 716 area. 0.0716 is what the actual fib is giving me. Because she's on a little downward trend, and it can go, and it can still push. Now Now, some ideas, she might do a bear trap here, and that would be cool. If she does that, then it might start coming up to these other areas like 8, 9.5, a little bit more quick. But I still think that 13-cent area over there for a sell target, and maybe 12.50 if you wanted to go with a little range above that, below that. Sometimes that target, she may not exactly hit it on her first run. It may take a couple to get up there, so you got these little guys in between at 12.50 and 13.3 that could come into play there. Don't know if that's where she's headed right off, but if she does get her higher high in, it's 60% gains to do that. We look at it this way. We draw our trend lines. I'm with 4 hour. Look at it this way. Now this is kind of cool. This is bullish actually. So you got your falling wedge or falling channel. You broke out. You retested it. This was the breakout area. That's the first place we looked to come back to, and it did. That was good. But now she's riding the leg down, and they can. It sucks when it happens. Where's our volume? All the volume's on the breakout. That's cool. So this is basically how I look at this with the top trend line and do this. And I like this. I'm sticking with this guy. Trend line breakout, retest it. Good chance to pop and then go for the higher high here. So in simplified terms, this is how I look. This is how I read it. And she could come all the way down here. She could. Don't know for sure. She could. She might bounce here at the 200. But then these areas over here, 12.5, 13, are starting to look nice. Cool. Joe says, gotta go. Have a great rest of your stream. Thank you, Joe. You're probably already gone there. See, we got a few little things. Turbo, Napoleon Woods. Hey, welcome to stream. Spell, Toshi, Aptos, Peppy. Some of those I need to look at. Say is one that I definitely need to look at. Guys, give me a second. I will be right back. No, it's tingle time. Turkey has to go tingle. I'll be right back. Enjoy the music. I think this is the instrumental version. And where did you go, man? Or is this you? Be right back. All right, and the turkey is back. Let's flip you back on there. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's golden brown. Oh, there we are. Yeah. All right, so we did Libra, we did ENJ, ICP. Still got Raven to do. Let's see. Write these down here. Turbo, SEI. I need to take a look at SEI too. Spell. Haven't looked at that one in a minute. Toshi. I got some Toshi. Aptos. Peppy, did we already do? We haven't done Peppy. That was on my list too. Chief and Keef, Duality C. Glad to see you guys here. There's Soul. Joe says, love all the voices in your head. Love your thought process. Well, thank you, my man. I don't think he's still hearing that. All right, let's take a look at, let's take Raven Coin. I haven't looked at that one in a long, I used to love this one. I used to mine this one back in the day. She's at a penny now. It was when the hot coins going to be something. Binance listed them just because they were good guys. Oh man, we had trade set up. Did that work? It worked. Did it work good? Oh my gosh, look at the trade. I did the crazy dash trade setup on Raven Coin back. When was this? A year ago? Crazy ass price target up here. That little guy nailed it. Just saying. She went up. How many percent was what it tells me right here? 170%. I know it sounded crazy at the time, right? Until that one day when boom, yay! Back in the day, took us forever to find out that hey, it played out. Awesome. Okay, so what are we doing now? Raven Coin. I mean, she got. How far did you get up? About 28 cents. It's a proof of work, or it was. I haven't kept up with it and what it's doing. Did you make all new lows? You're all the way back to where you were. Raven Coin, I gotta check you out. What are your tokenomics? What have you been doing lately? I haven't heard anything from this one. I gotta say, that's one I've totally missed this whole... okay, well, that's not working. That's weird. Okay, well, I guess we're not... Can we go over here? Take you off. This is CoinGecko. Let's go over here. So Raven Coin, you still got what, 21? Yeah, that's the problem. Too many coins. You get too many coins, and then you get an asset that moves like molasses. 170 million. It's still a tiny market cap. Now our all-time high, well, we already went over there. We're down 96%, and technically, if you just go by percentages on when's a good time to buy an altcoin, that's pretty good. Anywhere between 95 and 99 is like really, really good. Just as a general rule. So if you got conviction about it. Its all-time low was 5 years ago, so we never made it back to its all-time low below a penny. Raven Coin doesn't have an established team. It's an open source project led by core developers, and I mean, it is it's a pretty cool project. It just, never really caught on. Proof of work. Just as Monero is solely focused on privacy, Raven Coin specializes in asset transfer, nothing more, nothing less. So you can exchange assets over other blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. That's okay. That's not their intended purpose. And lack of are you going in real world? Are they headed toward real world assets? That's what I'm wondering right now. Because I thought I heard a rumor that they might be doing RWA, but then they gotta get. I guess you got the smart contracts. I don't know if they got it or not. It's proof of work, right? New mining algorithm, KPow. All right, so let's take a look at Raven and see what she's doing here. So this was our high in March last year, and this was our high in December. So clearly, we're gonna target the December one right now. And basically, all we can do is pull our fibs and hope for the best. So short-term targets, I know it's this simplified. Those are the two that are worth waiting for right now that we'll fight our way through. And so if you were wanting to get in on this now, which to me, I think is a pretty interesting, juicy place. Let's see. She looks like she might be wanting to come. The indicators are suggesting that she might be bearish right now and trying to come down. I'm trying to, well, at where you want to come down to. Moving averages look fairly good. 9 above the 21 and the 50. Cloud looking decent for that we can pop out of it. There's some bearish divergence between these, so I'm still going to look at it this way. So I think she might come down a little bit more on this line. So we're at the 0.5. That's a great place to bounce for even a flag idea. I think she's still safe at the moment. She's not broken this trend line. Here on the daily where it really counts. She's trying. She's flirting with it. If we go up to candle body, she's flirting with it, but she's holding it. Could be just wicking down. So she might be bouncing here. If she does, then we could be looking at 14. I would still stick with these bigger areas though. Shorter term target, I mean, I would go for somewhere around this 14.3 area. From hither to thither, it's 25% to 35% gains, but the sweet one would be up here about 19 or 1.9, not 19 cents, but 1.9 cents. And that could get you about 70% gains, and I can see us coming up there to test these areas. It might take a little longer and a little bit more patience for that area to get hit, but that's where the money's made, in my personal opinion. To me, I'm reading her like this. She's a bullish megaphone pattern, which may come down here, and it may, you know, we can come down. I'll put a lower target on there. From what I'm seeing here, she could be coming down for like another bottom to make another. I could see us coming. I can't draw you. Come on, let me draw you. I could see how we could finagle and come down and do, you know, like a W pattern, do something like that. And I could see that possibility could happen with what we got with their indicators. So let's not rule that out, that she might get just a little bit cheaper before she gets a little bit more expensive. So we'll throw that 618. We'll throw this little pocket area in here. So at worst case, I can, well, not the absolute worst case, but if we don't bounce from where we are, which we can, I still think that we can. But if we don't, then I would be looking for this little sweet spot. And that would be our 618 there at 10 at a penny, just a little over a penny, and just a little under a penny at 786 at 0.0098, basically. But right now, I still think this has got a good chance to hold. This would be our first hump, second hump, third hump, and then we worry about dump, and then I wouldn't worry about these as much. I'd be worrying about this little guy that we just retested right there. So I think she's got potential. I think it looks pretty interesting right there. Let's take a look at SEI, say. How long have I been going? An hour and 30 minutes. Wow, time goes by so fast on these streams. I think say I would like to see it on CoinTrendz if I can. There we go. Nice, you're doing something, Say. Look at you. You're at 13 and now you're at 20. Good for you, Say. You made your higher high right there. Well, look at you. Beautiful. Okay. Let's zoom out and take a look at Say, get a big picture of the bigger picture. Sucks that you lost your main level, Say, so it makes me have to think twice about you from now on. Unfortunately, we'll go with what our high we had in December. Well, let me do a little bottom checking first. Let me take your temperature. Let me get the lube out. Nice. Okay. Same thing I do every time. It's crazy. Same exact thing, because works for me. Nothing's 100%, but I give it a high value. So 27 and 30, we're at 36-ish, 35.89-ish. Just a little under 36, just a little over 27. And I could see a possibility if we had to kind of predict the future with our special brains that nobody has. It's because we drink our lemon water. This was a special brain. Nobody can see what's going to happen but us. We could possibly be doing, we come up and not make a higher high, or maybe make just a little higher high, come by a higher low. Look, we got an inverted head and shoulder. It's a possible idea. It's a possible idea of what could happen. Doesn't mean that it will. And only egotistical people try to get clicks and make you think that the smartest people in the world would just go ahead and say, call it out and say, "Oh, this is what's going to happen." I'm sorry, I got a bitch about that. What we really have is a break of a trend line, and yeah. So maybe we'll get a head and shoulders, maybe we won't, but I would see that this area up here was a good place to get rejected. And then we will pull our fib and probably get something like that. It can happen. Yay if it does. That's just kind of typical. And there's other things it could do too. So I just make it a point. I think one of the biggest things I learned from my mentor was calling out possible patterns, and that keeps you in the right mindset, because if you don't do that, then you get a bias. But it's going to be a head and shoulders, and then it's going to go up from there, and I can tell you exactly where it's going to go just by that alone. We're just going to project. It's those projections that can get you in trouble if you get too cocky on that stuff. Look, we're going to project, so our target is right here. Well, head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders, that's what's going to happen, and then we're going to come up here to 42. Okay, so what does that do? If you brazenly come out here on YouTube, or even to your best friend talking like that, really? It's going to, okay, I only got $500 because I'm broke ass and I got shifts to work at overtime at McDonald's just to make rent, but I'll take my money and I'll put it in there because you know what you're doing. You're an expert and you got a trading group and everything. You must know. And cool, if it happens, then you feed the ego and then everything. And if it doesn't happen, well, market gave it the other way. Just dust it off and go on, and just leave that person there that is playing this idea. But I've lost my $500. Oh, well, that's just the way it goes. Never said it could have been this, and there was a bearish divergence. You should have seen that bearish divergence. That would have told you that it wasn't going to play out. That they speak out of both sides of their mouth all the time. A lot, and that bugs the crap out of me. It's possible. That's what we say, possible. We don't try to get, you don't want to get any biases, and there's a lot of things to get biases. Like, for example, there's a popular thing to do right now, apparently, when you get some move like that. Well, you just put it into a flag, and there, you see these little flags drawn out. There's nothing there. There is nothing there. Other than a candle. The rules for a pattern are not being applied. 2 touches on one side, 3 on the other. And that makes me sad because it's ignoring the main rule of trend lines, right? And one of the things that I tried to get out there is like, man, I don't care if your flag extends beyond your trend line. It's probably not going to flag out, even if it's starting to make that shape. The trend lines, I think, are really your best navigators. And that just tells me alone we can come back and touch the bottom of this guy and hopefully bounce to the upside that we're starting to go parabolic and curve up. Anyway, I'm starting to rant now. Say could be coming back a little bit. She's looking pretty good to me. If I had to guess, now we're guessing that we got a top end. Let's see. Let me pull my fibs and see if it qualifies yet. Yeah, okay. That might be it. So I would be looking for the 382 Fibonacci area, especially if there is going to be anything like a flag. And I would be looking at 19.2. Right at the bottom of the trend line. Crazy how that works, right? That's on the daily. Let's come down to the smaller time frames, the 4 hour, and so we can see the nitty gritty. And I'm looking for the divergence right here. And do you see how this is coming down? RSI, the tops are trailing down. However, the tops up here are trailing up. That's what we call divergence. And the price action is going up. The indicator's coming down. This is our hidden. No, this is our not hidden. This is our truly bearish divergence, and it happened in 3 instances, and on an uptrend. And to me, that third one is the ringer. And so, draw our trend lines. We lost that one. I think she topped out right here for a local top right now. So yeah, I would be looking for this right here. I would be looking for 19 cents. 19.29. Come back and retest that. Not a flag to the upside was injured in this performance. How'd that little flag work out for you right there, buddy? One of the things that kills me is that there's always a flag at resistance, at major resistance. Now we're at a 1.13618 or 1.13 fib for you guys that follow my channel, and I'm sure it was even more than that. I'm sure these flag people like to do crazy stuff like this. You got to watch out for that kind of stuff. I'm just saying. Oh, the trend lines are better than trying to chase flags, is the voice I could get out. And it'll resonate with some people, and it will not with others. Say it's not so. Do I say so? You coming down, right? Oh, well, let me put you in here. Get my bag set up here. Let me get some targets though, in case this bounces. Say, there you are, girlfriend. We got oh yeah. 1920, 1930, basically, right? Okay, I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you. I'll put a buy in there. I'm also going to take this little lower area here, 18 cents, or at the 200 moving average here, just in case. You never know. I don't know. I may not do any kind of flag at all. I'm just looking at trend lines. Can't have a pattern without trend lines. I'll take a chance with you right there, darling. Sweet. And sell targets. Don't forget them juicy sell targets. I need me some sell targets. I gotta be taking me some profits, and yeah, I'm gonna stick with. I think I'll stick with those two. Short term, we could come here, high to low. We got rejected at our 618, and that's why we're coming down, or a good reason why we're coming down. Could go 25. Do I want to sell 25? Let's see, we're beneath this. Maybe I'm going to go with my bigger ones there. 35.8. Oh, snap. What? That's all? That's all you can give me for that target? Really? Oh, yeah, we're definitely selling cheaper. My bag is not big enough yet. And I'll go 25.8. As we can come up to that area, get rejected, and come down for a lower low, higher low, or whatever. 786 is a good area. That price is 25.8. I'm gonna run it 24. Front run it 25.78. And really, say I thought we were doing better than what we're doing here. I thought we had a bigger stack. All right, so that's kind of what I'm seeing for say. Come back over to the chat here and see you guys. Chief and Q says ACH. Let's take a look at Alchemy Pay here. Let's go to Binance. Still waiting. I'm still waiting on them targets right there, the higher highs. I looked at this not too recent, or not too long ago, huh? So how's she doing? So we lost the trend line and then broke it, and it even came back up, retested. That's common, but it's telling us that we're working on a downward trend. Now, I had this area here at 0.0. Oh, did we hit it? Not quite. Not quite. Let me zoom out a little bit. She made a lower low from that, huh? I gotta zoom out more, get rid of some of this noise. She's got a noisy chart. Alright. It's a nice little double bottom down there. Do we need to adjust our fibs? let's take our. Let me get that guy out of there. He's kind of distracting me. Okay, so we're bouncing off a 382 in the middle of the cloud. Go to our bigger time. Here on the dailies where I really want to see it. So the daily, we're in the red cloud and the green. That looks promising. Actually, I'm gonna get the fibs off so I can see my moving now. I want to see what the momentum looks like. So we did lose this, and we should be coming down. And gee, it looks like you might be making a little top pattern. 800 or 600, 800, they're flipped wrong, but the 300's above there. That's good. I can see us coming back to 2.4 just by moving averages. 100 above the 200, above that. That's kind of good. Okay, so I see basically some positive momentum going on there, but she's getting her pullback. All right, let's fib you out. Lost that, and you can do measure moves to get areas, but they're not going to be as accurate with that, I don't believe. Not as good as Yo Fibonacci. So we're testing the hopefully that would be a great place to hold, but I don't see it holding. I think right down here. I'll be looking at that 0.5. And we will throw this one in the 618 just in case. That's also testing these areas down here. So if we get a deeper retracement to come back and just really hammer in this area, good. Coming to the 0.5 would be testing this area over here. And, oh, is that what you are? I don't need that line anymore. So she's trying to hold this area, but I think there can be one more push down to get the next lower low, and see what we do there at 2.3. With a little extra one down here at 0.0223, 222. And those are the two targets I'll be looking for a bounce. By then we do that, then we can get a secondary angle. I don't think I really have anything that's going to clue me into what that would be. So we'll wait on that. Oh, well, there's an idea. Not solid. I'll wait till it gets in before we draw that trend line. And do I need to adjust? Oh, we can adjust this guy now. Ooh, yeah. Let's take these guys up. So we got a little higher targets now. Putting us over here about 3.2, 3.4 for the big boy targets. If we decide to go up and make our higher high, we got a new higher high to make. So that would be cool. I mean, if things work out in the perfect world, we come down here and bounce, and then we go up there, that's 32% gains. Not bad. She's ranging. She's being kind of boring and dull at the moment, ACH. Third rising valley confirmation point. The hell's that? Oh, right. Zooming out. She does have 3 rising valleys. She didn't come down below there. That's good. We want to keep this target in mind there too. That 5 cent. After she gets through playing around with what she's doing down here, I mean, you see what she does, right? You just gotta be patient and wait for that. And coming up 5 cent area, definitely looks like it happened. And then there's a measured move from that can go up to 8 cents. So it's patience on this one. And we're zooming out now. You can see trend lines. You can see possible bottom patterns. She didn't make another shoulder. She kind of just went flat. So, but you did have a breakout from there. That's cool. Just going to take patience on this one, but the higher targets, they're up there. I don't know how long it will take to get there, and hopefully we'll do better than that for the whole year, but see at least a double, maybe a triple up there. Let's turn our attention to, how about Aptos? That's one I gotta mess with, so we'll go to CoinTrendz over here. Look at you, way down there, you little bottom feeder. Here on the daily, I'm looking at my moving averages. They're bearish. Are you trying to do something on the smaller ones? Maybe. I like what I'm seeing down here as a possible. Let's see how we're doing overall. Aptos, you cheap. You're on the cheap. Well, that sucks. Look at that, Helen. That sucks right there. That's bearish retest. All right, so these aren't really relevant right at the moment. Nice. Definitely doing the scallop pattern. It means that when she gets through doing this, she can come up really nice. Looks like she likes to 786 us on all these little guys, so I don't know. Are you on a... You just went just a wee bit lower. Can you go lower still? You can. I mean, if things get tough around here and we start going south for whatever reason, we haven't done this even on our worst days, but I'm just going to throw it out there, and that would be the target. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Looks like you did, okay, you did full double, and then you went lower though. All right, I'm gonna have to zoom in here on another one. Let's hope you qualify. Okay. We will play this. She went just a wee bit lower than what I would really want her to. But we got a little something over here, so we'll play this little guy. So breakout, retest, that's good. Falling channel, that's good. Just the measured move alone from this idea takes us up. Take that measured move. But the breakout says that we can get back up to retest this area, basically the top of the channel. That's about $7. That'd be a lot better than where we're at right now. So locally, that's what we got in a channel. Swing high to swing low. Tell me where price is going to go. Sweet, you're right up there with our... Ooh. Well, I'd definitely go with that measure move in that 236 area. And... Let's bring it down a notch. And right now is where you're getting rejected at that 236. I think she's getting ready to break out of this, I believe. I believe she's getting ready to try to head over here to this guy. You'll never explain. Crypto operator. Riding the candles and kissing goodnight. She's got the wallets, your keys in her hand. So it looks like she's trying to flag out there, darling. Is it a 382? Do you touch my 382? Measure move takes us up there. So she comes down any lower, look at just right at $5, like in a fraction of a penny. She might be coming, I would say she'll touch that for real. I'd feel better if she did touch it. Come down and touch my $5, honey. If she bounces off this 236, that's bullish AF, and that would be, yeah, 618. That actually would be right up here, right around this target, same target there. But I want to put it right here, that 501 area. And this is daily. Let's come down to the smaller time frame and see what the noise looks like. Do you look like you're going up right now, mister? No, you look like you're trying to triple top over here and go lower. I've triple tops. We might put her in. Might have to put this little guy on the radar just in case. Color him a little different. 501 is the sweet spot I'm really kind of looking for. This is Aptos, and I've got a bag of this I need to attend to. Come here, Aptos. Where are you? There you are, Aptos. Let's see. So I had a target at 510. I need to go 501, right? Do I need? I probably need. I will. Can I borrow? Ah! Snap. Well, you suck. Don't have much to work with on this one. Put me an order in at 502. And then I'm going to zoom out and get my take profit targets. Basically, I'm going to 706 area. And 648 area. Alright, Aptos, you're set up. Thought I had a bigger bag than that. Let's see, we did say. Let's take a look at Turbo. Look at you. Get above that 800 moving average here on the 4-hour curving over. We still got a chance. Let's zoom out. See, we're starting to curve down the bottom too. Well, that just looks too noisy. These are our next targets. Alright, Turbo, what you trying to do? You're trying to flag to the upside. Getting rejected the 200 moving average and the 360 on the daily. Was that Lucy? Is that you, Lucy? That's the devil line right there. I see no reason why we can't come back and test some of these areas. Since we broke out, we never did retest this. And we might do it. 50 moving averages down here. Let's see, we got 603. That's good, and 200. That's actually good. That's bullish. Typically, I would be looking for 0.0038-ish area. Let's come down the smaller time frame and see what you're doing. Cloud is getting bigger. We got any bearish divergence going on over here. There's some slight bearish divergence going on the RSI, and we're at areas to get rejected there. I think it can come lower than this one. I'm going to pick this one orange as a warning. This one's green. I think she can actually do a 786. It may take a while for that to happen, so we'll have to see, but that one's possible. The main one I'm looking for is going to be the 618, and that's going to be coming back down to retest this 360 moving average. That's about 0.0032 from where we are now. That'd be about a 33% drop. she's not yet confirmed that idea. There's still some bullish sentiment there, but it's starting to set up as that, and we did have that divergence there, so it says a little bit. MACD's already started flipping bearish here on the 6 hour, saying, I'm tired, I need to, and she's already losing the Fibonacci area and the 21 moving average, so she's got some concerning signs. Come to a smaller time frame and see what that looks like. Oh, I wish I could have shorted you up here, but I didn't catch that. Wasn't looking for it. And now you got to short supports. And she could easily bounce and come back up here. If you're just short right now, she could come back up, and then your short would be in under on spot 8%. 5x leverage, you're down 50% if she decides to pop back up from here. So it's not the safe place. Not the safe place. Not for me. And look, she's trying to pop up there. So, do we want to short? If I want to take a short, ideally I'd try to get the 786. That could happen. Or the 618. I wouldn't be looking at those two like a lot of other people and bots would be doing right now. So that could be juicy take profit area or short area, in my personal opinion. Because it looks like she wants to come down to these areas. It's healthy. Even here on the smaller time frames, it's healthy. But things can only go up so strongly before they got to do some kind of retest and at least retest some of these areas that we were before, right? That's healthy price action. And she's retesting these areas right now. So chill out, come on back down. And then let's ride this real wade up again. All right, guys, I've been going for about 2 hours now, and that's about as long as I can go on a stream. And let's come over and take a look. I always like to take a look at Bitcoin and see what she's doing, especially on smaller time frames. What's she been doing since we've been streaming? Oh, you back up? Are we on the same one? I got two different ones. I think I was looking at this one. Yeah, you're not back above my line here. This is the one I'm actually trading. She's tried, so we're flirting with the 618 area. Now it's resistance on the bigger scene of things. What does that mean? I mean, we did possibly have a top pattern up here above a 618. Now we're below it, and this is what I've been, Thursday, Friday, and I was bitching about this. Everybody getting really bullish AF, and it's easy to do when you're on green candle days, but that's how you also get caught though. And that's why I'm trying to find resistance areas, and I kept finding them. And there are some mixed signals because Ichimoku Cloud looks bullish AF. You still got some good things going with moving averages, but it was just saying I needed to calm the F down. But everybody keeps drawing flags to the upside and everything. It looks like we're going to come down and possibly retest this little trend line area. And so for the people playing this as an ascending triangle, which is a continuation pattern, it looks like we're going to come back and retest it because they turn into channels themselves, and that's exactly what happened here and what I pointed out. Not that I know everything, but there's some things that we can apply here that you may not be familiar with, and they're coming from some very, WD Gans where I get these angle ideas, and it's just a basic idea, but man, it helps me to actually see things that other people don't see just by knowing, oh, we're in a channel. And all it is taking the angles from the bottom and putting it up here, and then, oh wow, that's going to be resistance if we ever come up there. Yep, sure was. And that idea came from when we were down, here, being able to determine that, just measuring from here to here. So I just like to share some different ideas that you may not see everywhere. Man, you don't have to believe in them. You can test them and see if they work for you. If they do, then hey man, you got a new tool for your tool belt. And if they don't, well then move on, and then we there's something else. I would love to see her. Oh, that's nice. This is a 36-minute chart. Just because, I mean, the moving averages are crossing bearish, but the bigger ones still got the upward momentum, and it's still pretty strong. And we're seeing this cloud thicken up. That's a good sign that we're starting to edge toward it. So maybe this was actually like what we seen on altcoins too, where we had a downward channel, broke out, retest, and then we're shooting for a higher high. So maybe we'll start heading back up to about 96.5-ish, get back above that. That's we hope we can get back. If we don't get back above it, then we're bearish. So we don't want to fall over. That could happen. We're getting a setup with 50 cross 100. That might happen, but hopefully we can overcome that and then go back up. This little woolly booger right there, cause of our trouble. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you again tonight, 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 for you Central people. About dinner time for you people on the West Coast. You're like, why are you calling it a late night show? This is like 7 o'clock. This is when we start getting ready to go clubbing. Sorry. I didn't create the world or time. That's just how it works. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me. See you again tonight. We'll go looking over the market again, see what's happened and see what tomorrow may look like. The weekends are interesting when it comes to trading and setup. And then, try to get ready for this upcoming week, whether it's going to be a good one or a bad one. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. See you tonight.
She rocked old jeans last fall, no doubt. Now it's designer wall to wall. Hey now. Heart skin she peeled on by. Ooh yeah. In a Corvette that
That's
lit
funny.
the sky. Mind spinning fast, thoughts collide.
Let's see, we took a look at SWE, right? Pretty sure we took a look at SWE. If we didn't, I'll do it tonight. I thought I did, though. You guys have a good day. Enjoy the weekend. 2 hours, 2 minutes. Wow. Where does the time go? You talk too much. See you guys later.